G'day guys, welcome back. Look what I've got. I'm going to use my terrace mold today. It's been a while since I've used it. I think the last one I did was the round one. This is the square one. I've got a round one as well. And it's got all these different layers built into the mold. Look at that. So you get real depth. This was the last one I did. I put sand in it. And different shades of blue, and then I put some dolphin stickers on. So that was that one. All right, so today I want to do something a little bit different. I want to do the terraces in different shades of blues. So I'm using my intense chameleon powders because I was looking for blue shades, sort of bluey tealies, and just the regular chameleon powders, both by Resin. I've picked these two. One says blue and one says deep blue, so they will be the darkest. They came out of this pack, so that'll be the darkest. Now the small section on top, that's going to be the deepest point down the bottom when you turn them over, so that'll be the deepest. That'll be the deep blue, and then the blue, and then out of this pack I got teal and blue, so we'll put blue and teal. So the teal's going to be the outer, the shallow, then blue, that blue. There we go. All right. Teal, blue. I know there's two blues, but this one looks, you can see the difference. I'll just put the lids there. That one looks a lot lighter, and then, you know, there's the teal one. So I think they'll look really pretty. This deep blue, it says deep blue, but it looks more purple to me. So, but then that's okay. A really dark blue sort of go a bit purpley. So that's what I'm going to do. Making a mess. I was trying to get that hair. Making a mess. All right, so here we go. We'll move everything out of the way. I'm going to start with the lightest color first, and that will be on the outside. I've already cleaned these once. That'll be on the outside. So I'm going to go with this gorgeous teal. I'll do one and then I'll just fast forward the rest of them, okay? So this one here will be the lightest. I'm going to do, I'll have to work out how many. Probably maybe, definitely two, but there might be 3 terraces in each color. A bit of resin stuck on from when I used it last. So, but look, if it doesn't matter, like if you try and blend a couple of layers or terraces together, that'll be fine too, because you don't just get, you know, shallow and then deep. It does sort of blend and go down gradually, doesn't it? Change depth and change color. So this is, not sure what color. Oh look, I think I'll just do the sides in the light as well, because that's the color that's going to be touching the sides, so it sort of goes on the bottom and then up. So I think I'll do that. Yes. And then after I've done this with my chameleon powders, then I'll mix up some resin, tint it black, because you always get a better look from the chameleons when you put a really dark color behind them. Whether I use black or whether I use navy blue, like, you're not going to see it unless you flip it over and have a look underneath. You're not actually going to see the color, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to go with black because it's dark, making sure I get the sides of my terrace as well, because I want to see the color there. This is gorgeous color, this one, isn't it? It is. All right, now I can't see in here. I'm going to have to actually turn the mold around later so I can do the side, because I can't see down in here without sticking my head in the way of the camera, and we don't want that. No. So I'm just getting this. So I'm doing this one and I'm doing this one in the teal. But yeah, I have done, you know, a couple of others using this terrace. I will link the one that I showed you before with the sand and the dolphins and things. I'll link that towards the end of this video, up in the top right hand corner for you. So if you do want to watch it after you've seen this one, you just need to click on that little link that will pop up there. But yeah, I'll do one, and then I'll just, yeah, you don't need, I probably won't even fast forward it. You can see what I'm doing. You don't need to see me do 4 things exactly the same, do you? But I will. Oh, maybe I can stand over here. I'll stand over here. How's that? Can we see what we're doing here? I can see. Hopefully my head's not in the way. Okay. That's done. We are done all the way around in the first colour. Now, how many have we got left? So we've got 1, 2 in that one. We've got 1, 2 in the next. 1, 2 in the next. 1, 2. Oh, that works perfectly. Perfectly. All right, here we go. The next, this one and this one. I'm going to have this blue. Look at that. If you haven't already seen me using these, what I'll do is, once I've got the black on these, what we do is then we wait for it to cure and we unmold them out of this, and then when you turn it over, you'll have a hollow, and then you just fill it up with clear resin, so you'll still be able to see the colors. Does that make sense? You'll see as I go along. But those of you that have been following me probably will have seen me use this mold a couple of times before, so you know what I'm going to be doing. That's it. That's that one. I'm not going to worry about cleaning my brush or anything, because we're just using the same kind of shades. So now I'm doing the next 2. It gets faster as you go along because they're not as big. So it's only the silicone that's touching the powder is going to grab onto that color. So it doesn't matter if you spill a little bit of this over one of the other colors, you won't see it. It'll only be the first color that you put on your silicone is what's going to show up. I'll try and do the edges as well. So I don't think it matters, like if you try and blend them or anything. I don't think you'll see the other colors. Actually, I might do this one in the dark blue as well, and then just do that last little one in the dark, in the purpley tone. Because I'm not sure how it's going to work out, really. A little half of it. You could do half a terrace. You don't have to do a whole terrace in one color. You can do half. So I'll leave that, and then I'll leave that little point there for that other blue one. But to me, going on, or even looking in the little jar, it looks purple. But maybe it changes. I don't know. Oh, there we go. All right, make sure we get the sides. Alrighty, there you go. Done skis. Now, when I've done all of them, I'll pick up the mold and I'll take it over to my bin, and I'll just flip it upside down to get the rest of like all that loose powder off, because you don't want to be blowing it in here in the studio. Okay, don't want to be doing that. It's going to make a mess. So I'll do the rest, and then I'll come back to you when I've mixed up my black and we're ready for the next stage. All right, see you then. I have finished dusting my little terraces, and they are looking so good. And I have mixed up a big jug of clear resin, which I added a big dollop of black pigment paste to. Just give that a little torch there. I am using the Platinum River table resin. only because it's a deep pour resin. So these are quite deep on the side there. I think they're half an inch, about 12 millimeters. So yeah, if I tried to do it with my Platinum 360 Plus, it would just flash cure and, you know, maybe ruin my mold. So use a nice thin resin. A deep pour resin would be good rather than just a regular thin or shallow casting resin. Because it's been so long since I've used this mold, I actually don't remember how much resin to mix up. So I'm hoping I haven't mixed up too much. I did, I've got to look at my notes, 400 grams of A and 172 grams of B, so 572 grams. Oops, I'm dripping. Which is about, I don't know, it's about half a cup in each, I think. Clean that up later. We'll see if that's enough. I do need to pour some over the, whoa, don't go over, don't go over. Yeah, I have to pour some more into that other one there, but I thought I'll just put some in all of them and then I can go back and add a little bit more. So, wiping the bottom of my jug. I'm dripping everywhere. I'm dripping everywhere. Gosh. All right. Let's just clean this up here. It's much easier to clean the wet resin drips when they're wet rather than, you know, once they've dried. It's not so easy when they've dried. Okay, a little bit more here. Just bear with me. I like to clean them up. Clean up my bench there before it goes hard, before I put any more resin in. I've got a little bit of room there. All right, here we go. Now, just going to put a bit more in. See how much they take. Hopefully I'm pretty right with my guesstimate. And I'm out of big cups, so I had to use my jug. This is a 2-cup jug, but you can put a little bit more into it. I'm dripping again. So basically, once this is done, we just have to wait. And we're going to have to wait till tomorrow. Actually, maybe even a little bit longer, a day and a half probably. So it's almost 3 p.m. now. So 3 p.m. tomorrow. I could possibly do it tomorrow evening. Unmold it and do the next layer tomorrow evening. But yeah, it seems to take more than 24 hours to cure enough. So there we go. I can scrape a little bit more out of my jug, but that's pretty much it for now. Don't torch, okay, because just under the surface here is that top terrace. It's only just sort of underneath by a couple of millimeters, so don't torch it because you could fuse that little silicone terrace to the resin. So you can just give it a bit of a, this is the back of the coaster, all right, so it doesn't matter if you can see little drip marks or anything like that. It's going to be the backs of the coasters. Right, I'm going to put a little bit more into this one, scrape out my jug, but I will see you guys tomorrow night. Righto, these have finally cured. It's been almost 2 days. Yesterday I checked them and they were still a little bit soft, so I've just left them. So we'll get them out now. And I have mixed up some more resin. Instead of doing the, just torching the top, instead of using the river table resin again and having to wait another 2 days, I'm going to use the Platinum 360 Plus, and I'm just going to pour it in 2 layers because I can do that and it can be ready to unmold in 8 hours still. So I'm going to do that. Okie dokes, let's put this down. All right, let's have a little look and see how these have turned out. I'm so excited to see. This looks like a little galaxy, doesn't it? A nebula happening. All right, here we go. Oops, I'm gonna take it off. Manual focus. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at the different colors. We've got green there and we've got purple there. Wow, that looks so cool. Very nice. So I'm assuming they're all going to be the same. Yes. Very nice. Wonder what they're going to look like with some clear resin over the tops. Oops, get out of there. Bit of silicone from my bench. All right, and there's the other one. So lovely set. Look at that. Wow. All right, so you can see the outside, the shallow water is more of a teal, and then it gets darker and darker, and then we've got that sort of dark purpley center there. All right, now, actually I probably don't need all of this. I was thinking I was going to need the same amount again, but I don't, because I'm only filling this in. So we'll see how I go. It's been a while since I've, might just spray them with some alcohol. It's been a while since I have used this mold, I must say. Just going to give it a little spray there just to help the bubbles not cling to the edge. I think I'll be able to just pour this in one, you guys. I don't know what I was thinking. I was having a blonde moment. I don't know what I was thinking. I can pour this in one. Oh gosh. It's just the first pour that you can't pour, you know, with the Platinum 360 Plus, because it's such a lot of resin. This is not a lot. It's only it's just the inside little cavity there. So we'll be right. Oh, look at that. It's looking amazing. I love it when clear resin goes over chameleon powders. It just looks so good. Now with these particular coasters, it's really up to you as to whether you want to stop the resin here in those little, in that last little terrace, or if you want to dome it and go right over the top. So either way you can do. So I made up 200 grams of part A and 86 grams of part B. I don't have to really worry about my resin, you know, flash curing and sticking to the mold, because there is no mold. I've already taken the mold away, so there's no mold. So there we go. What I am going to do though is I'm just going to separate these little guys a bit so that I can go over the top. I should have put something underneath in case I drip. I've ordered some liquid latex from the company where I get the platinum resin from, and they're going to send me some so I can put it on the backs of these, you know, from when I want to do some doming. Alrighty, so I'm just going to leave it like that just for a few minutes while I get myself organized. I'm going to use this little, kind of like a little, I think it's a palette knife really, because it's flat on the bottom and then the handle's up here. It just makes it easier for me to kind of pull the resin over towards the edges. So I'm just going to do that. I think it looks really, just finishes it off, looks really nice when you know this edge is the same color as that, just so it's all really shimmery and shiny. So obviously I don't have enough resin, you know, to go over the edges, so but I'm just going to tease it out a little bit on all of them, just so it's the edges are wet, and then I'll go back and put some more resin into the center. So basically, as you see, I'm just pulling my little palette knife over the edge like that, and just sort of, yeah, pulling the resin towards the edge. It's not going over the side, it's just sitting there on the edge. The Platinum 360 Plus is really good for doming because it's a thicker resin, so it likes to cling to the edges. So once I've done that and I've gone all the way around, Then I can go ahead and put another little dollop in the middle, like that, and let it spread. Now I know there's a few little edges there that need touching up, so I'll come back to those, but I'm just going to spread this on all of them. So I'll just do these two while you're watching, and then I'll do the others, because you don't need to see me do all four. That's just boring, isn't it? But basically this is just what you do for doming. Now if you wanted to, at this stage, you know, if you just wanted to leave that final terrace, you could put some of those little whale or dolphin stickers in there and then do your top coat. Once all the terrace levels are cured, put your stickers on, and then do your doming. So you could do it that way as well, but I don't think I need anything else. It'll just detract from the beauty of what's going on here. So that's all pushed to the edge. So give it another little splash of resin, and then we can just, if there's any little bare edges, just go across with your little tool like that, push it to the edges. It's surprising actually how much resin will cling to the sides. It's really amazing. So there we go. So that's sitting really nice. That's doming really beautifully. This one just need to go to the edges here a little bit more. One needs a tiny bit more over in the corner there. Just be careful not to put too much on. It's all gonna, you know, if you put too much on, obviously it's all gonna run off, but it's just it's a fine line. Put enough on that it's gonna get to the edges and just cling there to the sides without going over. Make sure that your bench top that you're working on, your surface, is really level. So there we go. Now I can torch these because I don't have to worry about burning a mold. So I can just easily torch those for any bubbles. Not that I can see any bubbles. Okay, so that's it. That's those two done. That one needs a little bit more just on the corner there. Push that over. So it's pretty simple. I mean, it's a little bit fiddly, I guess. Just takes a bit of time, but it gives an amazing, amazing result. Look at that. It's just gorgeous, isn't it? I know you can see all those lights and things, but I'm just trying to show you the edges of those two back ones. My poor camera doesn't know what to focus on. Am I focusing on the lights? Am I focusing on the coasters? There's a few more little bubbles on that one that I need to just pop, but there you go. So I'll do these first two. Obviously they haven't been done yet. And then, yeah, I'll come back to you once they're fully cured, which will only be in like 6 to 8 hours. Yay!